Some families can keep secrets. Huh? This story made me so sad. This lady, she got married believing that she knew the man she said I do to. This man was calm, the man was respectful, the man was caring, the man was prayerful, he was responsible. But 6 months into the marriage, just 6 months, everything changed overnight. One evening, her husband suddenly became restless. He was confused, he was aggressive, he was emotionally unstable. The man was shouting, he was pacing around the house, he was sweating, and he was talking irrationally. The lady was terrified, so she called his mother. The woman rushed over immediately to the house and she said, "Let's take him to the hospital quickly." Now, as they drove, his mother suddenly asked a question. Has he been taking his medication? The wife froze. She was confused. What medication? Then she remembered that every night her husband took some kind of tablets from an unmarked container. She once asked him about it. But his response was just casually said, "It's just for my constant headaches and well-being." Now, her heart began to race when the mother was asking about medication. Why would his mother ask about the medication like this? Why? Then the mother insisted they go to a particular clinic. Another red flag went off in her brain. They know the history there, the mother said. History? What history? She was asking herself. At the hospital, his mother tried to stop the wife from entering the consultation room. That was the biggest red flag. "You wait outside, let me go in with him." Those were her words. But the wife insisted. She was like, "No, I'm his wife. I need to hear what the doctor says. I live with him. I'm his wife now." The moment the doctor saw them, after they let her go in, the doctor sighed heavily. "I thought we had this under control." That's what the doctor said. "Let's review the medication dosage. How has the episode been?" That's the doctor asking. The mother looked uncomfortable because everything was weird with the wife there. Then she said it's not as serious as before. She was just quiet about it. Before, the wife felt her stomach turn. She was so confused. The doctor prescribed a strong sedative injection and he increased the medication of her husband. They were told to monitor him closely for 3 days. When they went back home, his mother kept pacing and praying. And she was saying, "It is well. This will not happen like before. It can never happen again." The wife was confused. She barely slept that night. What exactly were they hiding from her? She kept wondering. A week later, her husband seemed normal again. Now was the time she decided we need to talk. She finally sat him down. "What happened to you before? What medication are you taking?" she asked him. And he looked down and he began to cry. She was shocked. "I'm sorry, I didn't tell you before we got married. Sorry." Then her heart sank. Then he confessed that years earlier he had suffered a severe mental breakdown and psychosis. Hmm. He was admitted into a psychiatric hospital after he was hearing voices and becoming violent during episodes. Hmm. He said they locked me in a room because I became aggressive. When he admitted this, she could barely speak. She could barely sit. She was confused. "Why did you tell me before marriage?" She was asking him. "Why? Why?" He answered softly, "Because I didn't want to lose you." What? Then he explained that his doctors told him that medication could help. It could help him live a normal life if he took it constantly. He said he never skipped his medications just because he was afraid of relapsing. The wife felt deeply hurt, to say the least. And it's not because he had a mental health history, but mainly because everyone hid it from her in the family. She said to him, if I knew at least, I would have had the right to decide whether I was willing to continue with this marriage or not. That's just being sincere. Fortunately, 3 months later, another episode happened, and this time it was worse. The guy smashed the TV with the remote, like he threw the remote at the TV. He broke the flower vase. He screamed uncontrollably, and suddenly he turned toward her aggressively. He was now facing her. Oh, she was afraid, feared, fear gripped her heart. She ran outside and she locked the door from outside so that he doesn't come after her. She was embarrassed. She was shaking. She called his mother and she called his brother, and they arrived quickly. But they didn't come alone. They came with another relative. Before entering the house, he carefully checked to ensure that he had no sharp objects or dangerous objects, within reach or in his hands. It took 3 grown men to restrain this guy and rush him back to the psychiatric hospital. The guy was sedated immediately and then he was admitted into the psychiatric ward. 2 weeks later, the wife asked the doctor, when can he come back home? The doctor looked at her. He was compassionate, but he was sad. He said at this moment, it's not safe for him to return home. He may be a danger to himself and to you. We honestly do not know when he will stabilize. The wife sat there, confused. She was broken. She was afraid. And one painful thought that kept echoing in her mind was this question: was this marriage built on deception from the very beginning? Some people, and some entire families can shock you. They can keep life changing secrets. What do you think? Should a serious mental health history be disclosed before marriage? Or is it something you should hide? And is hiding such information a form of deception on every part? Can love survive without honesty? Please tell me what you think. Would you stay in that kind of place, in that kind of marriage, if you were in her shoes? As Christians, where do we draw the line between compassion and wisdom? There are lessons that I always draw from every story, okay? From this one too, there are lessons that I want us to draw out. Marriage must be built on truth, not fear of rejection. Because hiding major health, financial, or spiritual issues before marriage destroys trusts. Mental illness is real and should not be mocked or stigmatized. Having a mental health condition does not make someone evil or unworthy of love. That's what I want you guys to understand. But however, a potential spouse deserves informed consent before marriage. He should be informed about it. Families should stop helping people hide serious issues just to secure the marriage. Because love alone cannot sustain a marriage without honesty, without accountability, without safety. That marriage cannot stay. Safety matters because abuse, violence, danger, once it enters a relationship, that's it. Seeking protection is not wickedness. It's not. So now, will it be wrong if the wife decides to leave this marriage? What do you think? I want to hear from you. Please, do you think that this marriage is based on deception? And how can she cope with such a situation going forward? Is she safe to remain in this marriage or should she separate from this marriage? Please, let's talk in the comment section. Please, and be compassionate, be kind, be compassionate, be understanding that this can happen to anyone. And this is not to castigate anyone. This is just real stories that I felt we should share because they are very important for us to discuss. As singles, these are things that are not talked about often, but they're very important. The issue of mental health, the issue of deception. Thank you so much. My name is Princess, and this is the DMVC Singles channel. Welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone. Let us hear. Let people share their experiences, their advice, their counsel, and their thoughts about this issue. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye. Subscribe and like.